Have you ever felt that sinking feeling when a customer tells you that you're too expensive? Perhaps you've even daydreamed about a world where customers value not just what you produce, but the whole way that you do it and what you do. If you've ever felt like that, there's a solution. You have to be less fishy. Welcome, Trailblazers, to the Annoyingly Optimistic Show, the prime hub for the most resourceful entrepreneurs and business owners who thirst for a diverse mix of knowledge, stimulation, and a touch of humour. I'm your host, Paul Inskip, ready to guide you on this adrenaline-charged expedition through the realm of business. Together, we'll traverse the intriguing terrain of ideas, dissect the codes of success, and present you with the effective strategies to worry less, make more, and be brilliant. I'm all ears to your feedback, so reach out and comment or drop me a message to share how this podcast has impacted you, sparked your inspiration, or offered a fresh viewpoint. Let's kickstart this annoyingly optimistic expedition together, and always keep in mind to worry less, make more, and be brilliant. One of the harsh realities we all must face, especially those of us in the trenches running our own businesses, is when customers don't see the true worth of what we offer. It's akin to creating a masterpiece and having it undervalued, or pouring your heart and soul into a service only to be told it's too pricey. Now, let's face it, these instances aren't something that we can always brush off with a nonchalant shrug. Our businesses are like our children. Criticism, whether constructive or not, can sting. If we're not careful, we might end up letting this guide our business decisions down a path we never intended to tread. It's like a tiny pebble in your shoe that starts to alter your stride, and before you know it, you're limping off your path entirely. But what if I told you there's a way to flip this script? What if there's a way to approach this situation differently, to change the conversation, and perhaps even alter the perception that your customers have? And what if I told you that this fresh perspective starts with something that might sound a bit odd? But you're probably used to that by now. It's about being less fishy. At this point, you're likely wondering, what does this mean? How can being less fishy possibly help my business? After all, I don't do anything to do with fish. Well, let's talk about fishing for a second. In its purest sense, and believe me, I'm far from a professional angler. The closest I get to catching a fish is ordering fish and chips at the local fish and chip shop. That's it. That's my fishing experience done. But we're talking about a process. It starts with going to an area teeming with fish or customers. You then bring along something enticing, something fresh, some juicy looking bait. The bait is then hooked onto a razor-sharp tool designed to capture these unsuspecting fish. Now, from a fisherman's perspective, it's perfect. But if the fish had the ability to leave a Google review on the process, it wouldn't be 5 stars. It would be something like, nice bait, no one mentioned the hook. From the fish's perspective, they were drawn in by something that seemed irresistible, free, and oh so tempting. And then bam, a nasty surprise. In essence, what looked like a sweet deal quickly turned sour, leaving the poor unsuspecting fish feeling deceived, regretful, and downright mad. It's a setup that leads to disappointment, regret, and a whole lot of frustration. Not the best outcome from the fish's point of view. Now, at this stage, I hope you're following my trail of breadcrumbs here, or should I say fish food. What I've just described is eerily similar to those last 3 ill-fated Facebook campaigns you launched. You remember the ones. You put out something free and enticing. Your customers, or should I say fish, eagerly snapped it up, only to be left disappointed and feeling cheated. You were playing the role of the fisherman. You were being fishy. You were employing one of the oldest and most deceptive tricks in the marketing book, bait and switch. By being fishy, you got exactly what you might expect from such a tactic, but never what you wanted. And here's the rub. It's not the fault of the fish. It's not your customer's fault. The blame rests squarely on the shoulders of the crafty individual who came up with that sneaky campaign. A campaign, I suspect, you might have borrowed from somewhere else. But I'm not here to judge. So this leaves us with a rather pertinent question. How do we stop being fishy? After all, it seems like everyone else in our industry is doing it. Surely it can't all be bad, right? Well, that's your first clue. If all your competitors are doing it, then that's the perfect reason to do something new. And diving deeper, yep, I'm keeping this C theme going. The problem isn't necessarily offering something to capture people's attention. Giving people a reason to take action is inherently the best thing. It's not problematic. It's a fundamental principle of marketing. We want people to take action. The issue arises from the switch part of the equation. By giving something away for free, on top of your time and expertise, you're essentially telling your customers, whether consciously or subconsciously, that your time and what you offer are worth little or nothing. This cheapens your value and undermines your credibility. Then, when you suddenly switch and ask your customers to fork over a substantial amount of money, it feels as though they've been deceived and tricked. You wouldn't like it. The customer certainly doesn't. This creates an uncomfortable situation for them and an awkward, painful predicament for you. So it's clear that we have to be smarter. We have to find a better way to market, a better way to engage with our customers, and a better way to showcase the value of what we offer. Now, I could spend hours and hours talking your ears off about 101 different ways to market, to brand, to reach customers that don't rely on this manipulative bait and switch tactic. But we'll save that for another podcast. And while we're on the subject, you should hit that subscribe button. For today, I want you to focus on one simple concept: being less fishy. I want you to move away from the deceptive tactic of bait and switch and towards a new approach: the wow and wonder method. Now, hopefully I can hear you asking, what on earth is wow and wonder? And how can it help my business? Well, it's an alternative. And let's dive into this. Probably the last pun. Can't say for definite. Instead of offering your customers something that potentially devalues your service, devalues your products, and paints you as cheap or worthless, why not try a different tactic? Why not wow your customers with an experience, with an offer that they can't forget? Celebrate a milestone with them, a personal project, an achievement, something new, something that you're achieving. Invite them in. Invite your customers to be part of this celebration of this journey. Don't lure them in with a shiny bauble that does nothing to enhance your brand. Invite them to be part of it. Instead, offer your time and expertise as a thank you. How about offering them a discount on their purchase? Could be 50, could be £100, could be whatever you want. But wow them with it. By doing this, you're showing them that you value their business and you're willing to give something back. This not only makes your customers feel valued, but also helps strengthen your relationship with them. With the wow factor, your customers aren't clients. They become active participants in a celebration, in your journey, in your story. They've been moved to action. They've been offered tangible value. And you've set the stage for an engaging, positive customer experience. But how have you done that? Well, you've offered them something of value when they do one important thing, the one thing you want them to do: buy. And that's where the wonder part of the equation comes into play. You've opened up a loop, you've sparked their curiosity and created a sense of anticipation. They start wondering about the pictures or the products. What will I buy? What will the experience be like? You've elevated your services or products in their minds, creating a sense of anticipation, of excitement, even before they've come anywhere near your end products. Wow and wonder is the complete opposite of being fishy. It's about giving more, creating excitement, and bidding adieu to the dated bait and switch strategy. It's about celebrating the unique value of your offerings and sharing that celebration with your customers. Being less fishy isn't about trying to hook your customers with deceitful tactics. It's not about tricking or duping them to buying something from you. Instead, it's about setting the scene for a positive customer experience. It's about building a relationship based on trust, value, and mutual respect. The wow and wonder approach aims to create a captivating story where your customers are the main characters. It builds a narrative that helps your customers see the true value of what you offer. So let's all strive to be less fishy. Let's focus on providing an experience that is as transparent as the clear blue sea. See, I thought there might be one more pun. Let's build a business that thrives on value, trust, and mutual respect. Because at the end of the day, being less fishy is all about being more authentic, more genuine, and more customer focused. And so, my irrepressibly positive pals, we've arrived at the end of yet another episode of the Annoyingly Optimistic Show, where I intersperse your day with a dose of positivity, ready or not. Yearning for more? Make sure to subscribe on your favourite podcast platform. It's like extending me a never-ending ticket to a joy jamboree in your earbuds, where everyone's invited and the celebration never ends. But please spare a moment to leave a rating and a comment. I'm all ears for your feedback, even if it's along the lines of, "Really, Paul? You're excessively joyful. Could you ease down on my laughter muscles?" Now, lastly, if you've got inquiries, riveting narratives, or can't curb your optimism, reach out to me via my website, worrylessmakemore.co.uk. I'm merely a touch away from adding even more luminosity to your day. Thanks for tuning in. I can't wait to sprinkle more sunshine on your lives in the next episode of the Annoyingly Optimistic Show. Until then, worry less, make more, and be brilliant.